last year when a 928 GTS sold for over $400,000, the collector car world thought, this is crazy. Let me tell you why a front engine 928 sold for that sort of money. You know what was so interesting about the 928 is when it was introduced in '77, it was supposed to be the replacement as the flagship Porsche. You know, everybody gotten very comfortable with the 911. It had its quirks. Obviously, the motor was way back there. It was a little twitchy to drive sometimes. And they said, you know what, we're gonna make a GT touring car for the North American market, for the world market, but especially for the North American market. It's gonna have 50-50 weight distribution. It's gonna have aluminum panels. It's gonna have a big 8-cylinder. It's gonna be water cooled. It's gonna be the future of Porsche. Problem was, it didn't take long for the world to say, nothing is going to replace the 911 as the flagship car. On its own though, it was a really interesting experiment, probably way before its time, to put a big V8 motor in the front of this thing, to have a very balanced car, to make it a very comfortable car to drive. It was something that had been a radical departure from that real sports car feel of the 911. So by the early 90s, the writing was on the wall. This car was never going to be the flagship Porsche, and it really wasn't even going to survive. But Porsche wanted to go out with a bang. They had the S, they had the S4. They figured they were going to make the last model the ultimate 928, the GTS. 5.4 liters, 345 horsepower, 32 valves, really nicely balanced car, had the giant 17-inch wheels for the time. It had 911 brakes on the front, big brakes, 4-piston calipers. Keep in mind, this is the early 90s. That was state of the art at the time. Car was a 175-mile-an-hour car. Most were built as automatics, which almost all 928s were automatics. But what made this car so special is the fact that it's a 5-speed, and not many were built in 5-speeds. So only 406 GTSs came to North America. Of those, only 128 were 5-speed cars. In 1994, 44 5-speed cars were built in the 928 GTS. What makes this car so cool is it wasn't a cheap car back in the day. It was, call it around $100,000 back in 94, 95. Today though, the difference between a GTS automatic and a GTS stick can be fourfold. The price difference back then, almost nothing. So the car to own is a GTS, the most exotic, the fastest, the best of all the 928 models, and then get a stick. The next thing you want to look for is color and condition. So it's always interesting. You know, special colors bring a lot of money. The dark blue isn't super special, but it is pretty rare and it's a great color, but the stick is what makes it special. And then having a car with super low mileage like this one, it's like virtually going back in time and buying that car brand new. If you factor in the cost of money or the inflation rate, even at today's numbers, these cars are still cheaper than if you'd bought one brand new. Who would have thought that the next V8 front-engine Porsche after 928 would have been an all-wheel drive sport utility? I mean, that would have been sacrilege back in the day when this car came out. This car was supposed to be the flagship of Porsche. They were never going to get rid of the 911. They were just kind of experimenting to see, hey, is there something that guys want that isn't rear engine, just a track or real performance-oriented car? Can Porsche build something that you can drive every day? It wasn't for a lot of years after the GTS finally vanished that they came up with the Cayenne and then the Panamera, and then it really became accepted, and literally those cars outsell pretty much everything else. Kind of ironic. This was the stepping stone for those cars. Certainly a fun car to drive. I mean, lots of performance. The car really gets up and goes. The 5-speed is a lot of fun. Brakes are tremendous. I mean, they are brakes from a 911 turbo back in the day, so they were state of the art for back then. Car handles good, it's super comfortable, it's got all the creature comforts. It's got power steering, you know, air conditioning, it's got power windows and mirrors, and just about anything you would expect on a modern car is in this car. As you would expect from any Porsche, super tight, fun car. You can throw it around corners. It pulls really good in a straight line. It's not a rocket ship, but still, for the time, it was a pretty quick car at 175 miles an hour, 0 to 60 in well under 6 seconds. Pretty interesting car. By 94 and 95, I mean, it was the end of the era. They didn't really change much of the interior, so it was relatively dated for that time, but still, you know, functional and good looking. One of the things that really caught me off guard, I went to set the adjustable steering here, the tilt steering. Well, watch this. The whole dash moves on this thing. Kind of interesting. I've never really seen that before. You know, the other feature that looks kind of goofy in today's world is when you flip up the lights, it's got those bug-eye lights. It looks like a bug-eye Sprite. I don't know if they pulled it from that and thought it was cute, but it is different for sure. Car pulls quite nicely, sounds great. Car's very comfortable at speed and feels very nicely planted. We got a little S-curve coming up here. Car works really good, more performance than you really need even in today's world, but a really comfortable car if you wanted to take it on a longer trip. So the GTS, obviously, you know, the pinnacle of 928s. The standard transmission in 94, what this model is, they only built 44 in sticks. So obviously not a lot of people wanted the standard transmission, and like a lot of cars from that era when automatics became popular, and you know, it doesn't matter if it's Ferrari, Porsche, whatever, where all of a sudden people were buying these automatics, the standard transmissions had fallen out of favor. A matter of fact, a lot of companies stopped making standard transmissions. But in today's world, from a collector's point of view, anything with a stick is king. And you see now a lot of the supercar manufacturers are coming back to it. I mean, you think of Gordon Murray, that's all he wants to do. Go back to what supercars were 20, 30 years ago. Naturally aspirated, high RPM, low body weight, standard transmissions. You know, the future of supercars is actually going back in time, I think. And that's why these cars have become so popular and so valuable, is people want to go back a little bit in time. They want to shift gears again. They want to have some fun with the cars if they're taking them out just for a weekend tour. If you remember at the beginning of the video, I was telling you about a $400,000 928 GTS. Do I think that price is justified? I'm not sure. Is it an outlier? 100%. I mean, it's the biggest number one has ever brought. But what's interesting, when super rare cars, you know, that have interesting histories, that have super low mileage and great colors, they check all the boxes to become a super interesting collectible, especially for a guy that has a Porsche collection. This car is not going to go to a guy that has one Porsche. It's a guy that really enjoys all of the versions of the Porsches over all of the years. Does he need something like that in a collection? Absolutely. Does he want the best model, the standard transmission in a really cool color with super low mileage? Yeah, he does.
If you want to see more car content like this, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to visit our website to explore our curated inventory of luxury, classic, and investment grade cars.